third one is basically using SAS tooling, checking the output and basically triaging it. So you are essentially leveling up your pattern matching into the next level by looking into semantic pattern matching and proper SAS tooling like CodeQL, SendGraph, etc. The tooling will give you at least a basic taint of the data flow. It's also doing data analysis, by the way, internally. So it will give you a basic taint and exactly what it thinks is wrong with your code, right? Maybe it's flowing into a concatenated SQL query. Maybe you're using eval in an unsafe way. So that's what you can use SAST for. You can use it as a GPS if you feel overwhelmed. And sometimes you don't have an option, right? Sometimes all you're doing is vulnerability triage of SAST output. So in that case, you use the SAST as a baseline for navigation, and then you traverse whatever findings it has. And then you make a verdict based on your analysis of the finding. Beyond these pattern matching and SAST tooling, you can browse randomly, basically just vibe browse the code base, or you can do it a bit pseudo randomly, making use of historical data. Keep in mind the terms random and pseudo random. We're going to look into these terms deeply when we do the bootcamp. When you're doing random browsing, you are basically just taking the entire code base and just getting into it like an adventure, just going through the flows, going to the different functionalities, etc. And pseudo random with historical data, what I mean by that is if your code base that you're handling is not a new product, chances are there have been vulnerabilities historically that have been found in that code base, right? So what you can do is you can use that historical vulnerability data to zero in on components which have been previously targeted and previously found as vulnerable, right? So you can basically quickly map out an attack surface and quickly come up with threats to the application by looking at historically where it has been weak, where there have been gaps. Now, the final approach of doing code reviews is essentially feature exploration. This is the most comprehensive and wholesome way to do code reviews. What you do here is you basically take all the documentation from step zero, you take it, you ingest it, use whatever artifacts you have, like API endpoints, Swagger UI, full documentation, LLDs, HLDs, you use all these information to jot down, take notes of all the core functionalities, right? You browse these functionalities, you map them to the code, like each functionality to the code, where it's happening, how it's happening, and you explore it one by one. This is a big picture way of doing a code review, right? You're doing a code review of the entire application itself, and you're not really focusing on a single PR or a single SAST output. So this is the most wholesome way, but again, this is the most time consuming way to do it because again, you're dealing with a large scope code review.